This a matchup of the two franchises that have combined to win 7 of the last 9 NBA championships. The Spurs winning 4, the Lakers 3. Lakers control the opening tip. Fisher played by Parker. Gasol watched by Duncan with help. The ball in the hands of Bryant. Try to bank it.
He got a little switch that time. He saw that he had Tony Parker, and the whole key for the San Antonio Spurs, Marv, is to make Kobe Bryant a jump shooter. Do not let him break down their defense.
And they do not want to see him go to the foul line as frequently as he did. He was living at the line against Utah as Bruce Bowen is able to knock down a two-pointer.
Really a non-factor against Phoenix, a big part of that win against New Orleans. And we'll see tonight, Marv, it's so important for the Spurs to play with the lead so he can play.
Radmanovic. And we'll see how the quick turnaround for the Spurs plays into tonight's game 1 while the Lakers have been off for 4 days after beating Utah in 6. Here's the teardrop by Parker. San Antonio comes off that grueling 7-game series with the Hornets that finished up in New Orleans just this past Monday night. And then after game 7, as Bryant with a beautiful pass to Gasol. After game 7, mechanical problems with the team charter flight forced the Spurs to remain on the plane on the runway for 7 hours overnight. There were no hotel rooms available in New Orleans with a major convention in town, and Parker knocks it down. Both clubs hitting their shots here in the early going. So the Spurs used the plane as a hotel. Eventually another plane was flown in. The Spurs arrived here in LA at 8 yesterday morning. Basically, they just slept it off, but you never know how teams react to too much rest or a quick turnaround, including a sleepover.
And I think a typical Greg Popovich fashion, he said if we want to use that as an excuse, we can do that. I expect our guys to come out and play, and they've gotten off to a good start here tonight.
Nice pass, but Gasol could not score. He thought he was fouled off the one-hop pass from Bryant. Greg Popovich saying that he told his team it was a sleepover. Alberto rebounded by Duncan, and a loose ball foul is called on the Lakers. Pop said lights out at 2 a.m. on the play. Let's check in with Craig.
And Manu Ginobili is playing tonight with an acrylic on the middle finger of his shooting hand. Apparently before game 5 in the series against New Orleans, he was stretching and the bar broke, ripped the nail off down to the cuticle. They tried to cement the old nail on. He had trouble shooting and handling the ball. Tonight he is using an acrylic, a fake nail that was applied and put over the nail bed. No truth to the fact that Tony Parker wanted a French manicure on that.
Craig worked on that for hours.
Too much free time for Sager.
That first Laker foul a moment ago committed by Bryant. Radmanovic out at the three-point line, passed on the shot, and then tried to get it down low to the cutting Bryant. Ginobili for 3. Kept alive by Alberto. Rebounded by Odom.
Now the Spurs aren't a good offensive rebounding team. They want to get back and prevent this Laker fast break. And Marv, this is the matchup you talked about, the speed and quickness of Odom. And that time it was knocked away by the Spurs.
Here comes Parker. Nice setup, and Duncan lays it home.
Now that's getting in the paint. We saw him getting in the paint the previous possession, and Ginobili missed an open 3. That time he gets Duncan the easy score.
And Phil Jackson does not want to see the Spurs firing away from beyond the arc. Radmanovic with a strong move. The last 2 games against the Hornets, the Spurs hit 12 three-pointers and 11 three-pointers. They've been on fire from downtown. Parker, nice play. Alberto played very well, particularly at the defensive end against New Orleans.
Well, he's a guy, when you look at his stats, you're going to say, well, what is he bringing? Well, he brings all the intangibles. He's a very good defensive player in tandem with Tim Duncan. He makes the open shots, and he's very, very smart out there and knows where to be.
Nice pass again from Bryant to set it up for Radmanovic.
Well, they're going right at Manu Ginobili, so it looks like they're going to try to make him play some defense. I'm surprised on this end. Ginobili does not have the ball in his hands, trying to maybe play screen roll and make Radmanovic work a little bit.
Parker, rebounded by Gasol. Radmanovic has converted on his first 3 shot attempts. Here's Bowen defending on Bryant. Here's Odom. And he draws the foul. It's a blocking foul on Alberto. This a Laker franchise that during the regular season went 57-25, best record in the West. They swept the Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs, beat the Jazz in 6, and they're scoring points 112 per game.
And you know, they're the kind of team, Marv, that when they're scoring, it energizes them in other phases, and when they go through struggles to score, it bothers them on the defensive end and rebounding. And on the flip side of that, when you see San Antonio, they're a team that goes through droughts. So when they don't score, it really doesn't affect their defense. So we'll see tonight if droughts become a factor in this game. We saw it tonight in Game 7 against New Orleans. I'm surprised that San Antonio could win that game. You guys did it the other night, you and Reggie. They had 13 straight possessions in the fourth quarter, but they only got 5 free throws off those possessions and still won a Game 7 on the road.
And Tim Duncan missed his last 10 shots, although he had a solid game. Manu Ginobili hit key buckets, including 4 from downtown, but just 6 for 17. Spurs by 2. Bowen way off. Back comes Fisher. And he pulls up for the jumper. Ginobili lets it go. Now, during the regular season, the Lakers averaged just under 109 points per game. That was 4th in the NBA, and they shot 48% from the field, 3rd in the league.
And they're shooting better in the playoffs at both the 3-point line and the 2-point line than they did in the regular season. It shows you how well they've been playing offensively.
Gasol jumping out on a switch. Here's Duncan. Oh, he's rejected by Odom. 3-on-2 for the Lakers. Fisher all the way. Ramonovich with the tip.
See, now Vlade Ramonovich is sort of a feast or famine guy. This is a great sign for the Lakers. He's off to a great start, and you're seeing he's picked up his defense, doing a nice job here on Ginobili early in the game.
Ramonovich has hit his first 4 shots. That's deflected out. Last touch by the Lakers.
And Lamar Odom has really been terrific since they got Gasol. He settled into that number 3 spot. Fisher misses the easy score, but this is, Mark, what I was talking about, tempo of the game.
Here's Bowen. So Bowen has come out shooting. Usually he does it from the corner from 3-point land, but he's hit a couple of 2s. Fisher with a rainbow. Handled by Alberto. Spurs with a 12-10 lead as we approach the halfway mark of this first quarter, and Greg Popovich takes a timeout.
I think Pop has to be very happy with his start. He's off to a nice little rhythm here. His guys are shooting the ball well. He has to be pleased.
Back at Staples in Los Angeles, tonight's Collins Keys are presented by Heineken.
Well, the biggest key, Marv, is tempo in this game. The San Antonio Spurs won the game in the 90s. They're 7-0 in the playoffs when they keep their opponents under 100. And you talked about the Lakers scoring over 112 points a game in the playoff, which is the best. The Kobe blueprint, you make him a volume shooter. That's what you mean. You want him to take a lot of shots to have to get his points. More importantly, Marv, you talked about keeping him off the free throw line. And you've got to keep the Spurs guards out of the lane. Ginobili, Parker, when they break down your defense, points in the paint, leads to those kick out for 3-point shooting. And this could be really important tonight. The bench advantage. Is it going to be the young Laker bench that was so good all season long, but had their struggles against Utah, especially Jordan Farmar or Luke Walton? Or is it going to be that sage, old, wise bench of the San Antonio Spurs who played so well in Game 7 in that road victory against the New Orleans Hornets?
And we're seeing a key member from that San Antonio bench in the playoffs. Robert Horry checks in. Tim Duncan giving the Spurs a 14-10 lead.
I always love, coaches coming out of timeouts with set plays. You get your team to score. It's such a great confidence builder.
Odom is being played here by Horry. Odom goes right at him. The tip. Well, gets the friendly win.
That speed and quickness of Odom was so important in the Utah series. He struggled in Denver, but they had that quick, aggressive front line. He didn't have quite the advantage.
Parker backing it up against Fisher. Parker and Odom rebounds.
They're trying to keep Parker to the outside of the floor. If you know the Lakers, they're pushing their defense to the side.
Odom. Obviously, Phil Jackson wants Lamar Odom to go right at the 37-year-old. Robert Horry. Ginobili. Rebounded by Duncan. Here is Bowen for three. And a loose ball foul is called. It is on San Antonio on Horry.
Well, Kobe early in the game has only taken one shot, but he's really looking to get his teammates involved. Beautiful lob pass to Pau Gasol, who drops in the easy score. And here's Vlade Romanovich off to a terrific start tonight. 4-4 with 8 points. And then he is on the little baseline cut, and Kobe finds him once again. So Kobe really looking to get his teammates aggressively involved early in this ball game.
Gasol with a wide open shot. Oh, it's tipped and missed by Romanovich. And deflected out. Last touch by the Lakers. Greg Popovich with another substitution. Ime Udoka, who played very well in the series against New Orleans. In fact, game 6, sensational, 5 for 5, including 3 for 3 from downtown. So Udoka's on the floor. Parker. And Tony Parker extends to a 4-point San Antonio lead.
How about, Derek Fisher? He's seen Allen Iverson, Darren Williams, and now Tony Parker. And he's going to have a nice summer resting.
Yes. Fisher used the screen and then was rejected. Both Horry and Duncan getting a hand on it. Lakers will have 6 on the shot clock.
Oh, Derek Fisher off to a slow start here. 0 of 4 tonight, but being very aggressive. That's twice now he's gone into the lane. Normally we see him shooting those jump shots.
Gasol to the rim. Nice move on Duncan. Parker right back down, but the Lakers able to get back. Duncan met by Romanovich with help. And Gasol broke it up and apparently hit the official, Jim Clark, who is hearing it from the crowd, led by Jack Nicholson, who's all over Jim.
Well, the Lakers did a nice job that time covering. It was down in the post. Duncan had Romanovich down a double teamed and forced the extra passes and was able to knock the ball out of bounds. That was a nice defensive sequence for LA.
Udoka for 3.
See, it's hard, Mark. That's called the strong side corner because that's the side that the ball is on. If you help off that corner, it's the easiest pass to make and it's the closest shot.
Udoka giving San Antonio a 19-14 lead. That pass intended for Odom. He's able to get to it. Gasol. So the Lakers now 7 of 17 from the field and down by 5. Nice pass. Duncan gets inside. That counts. And the foul on Odom.
Oh, Tony Parker is off to a brilliant start here tonight. We've seen him get in the lane, get his shot. We've seen him get a 3-point shot for Udoka. This is a beautiful pass, threading the needle to Duncan, rolling down the lane. Laker defense a little slow getting there. Then the touch foul. The opportunity for the 3-point play. But Tony Parker, Marv, how his game has grown. This was the guy that his first couple years, I think he heard Greg Popovich's voice in his sleep, and it wasn't a quiet whispering tone that he would hear. And now these guys are on such the same page. They look out and Tony has his thoughts and Pop says go with it. Go with it. That's what you like. And just the growth of this point guard with his head coach through the years.
And Tim Duncan completes the 3-point play, and his free throw shooting has picked up the last couple of games of the playoffs. Foul is called on Bowen, making contact with Bryant.
Mark, when you have time off like this, normally if you're the Lakers like this, where you would see it would be on your offense, because shooting is where you get a little rusty. And you talked about their shooting. They missed some point-blank shots. Let's see if they work themselves into this game as they get back their game legs back.
And this one of those games is Bryant goes at Bowen and then sets it up for Gasol. Another assist for Kobe Bryant. 6 points for Gasol. That's 4 assists for Kobe. If San Antonio wins the game, they'll say, well, they were sharp coming off the quick turnaround following Game 7 in New Orleans the other night. And if the Lakers lose, they say, it's rust. If they win, it's rest. Bowen, that was a 3-point attempt. Rebounded by Gasol.
And just keep your eyes on San Antonio, how they get back and build a wall defensively so the Lakers have no fast break lanes.
Odom. Good job by Ori that time, forcing Odom away from the basket on that driving attempt. Here's Parker spinning. Wow. Oh, what a move by Tony Parker. 8-point lead for the Spurs as we come up on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. And a timeout is taken by the Lakers. Tony Parker able to get the step. Parker 8 points, 5 assists. Time now for the Gatorade Around the Cooler report. Let's go to Craig Sager. Craig.
Lakers center Andrew Bynum had arthroscopic surgery today to remove some cartilage debris and also to smooth over some rough spots underneath his left kneecap. Now, Bynum had been averaging 13 points and 10 rebounds before dislocating the kneecap and missing the last 57 games. The Lakers say the procedure was successful and that Bynum, who's just 20 years old, should make a full recovery by training camp.
Bynum had been playing so well when he went down, and then the Lakers fortunate enough to make the deal with Memphis for Pau Gasol, as you see Laker general manager Mitch Kupchak.
Well, in one of the early games against San Antonio, Andrew Bynum did a very nice job on Tim Duncan. His size bothered Duncan. Duncan was 2 for 13 in that game with only 5 points and 4 turnovers, so they miss Andrew Bynum in a series like this.
Sasha Vujacic has come on for the first time. Radmanovic off the ball fake was able to drive the lane.
You know, you look at him, you go, why not more often? I mean, he just sometimes, you know, he'll mesmerize you, and sometimes you just look at him and go like, why can't you be more consistent? He's off to a great start.
Here's Parker, and a foul is called. Vujacic on the foul. Jordan Farmar has also come on, a new backcourt being used here by Phil Jackson. You can log on to TNT Overtime on NBA.com and vote each quarter for the Spur and Laker players that you want to watch side by side in a unique internet and television experience exclusive to TNT Overtime at NBA.com.
It's a feisty matchup here. Ginobili and Vujacic, two very spunky performers.
Michael Filio just checked in, gives it right back to Ginobili. He knocks down the three. Lakers quick on the transition, but the Spurs do get back. Biggest lead of the night, 27-18. The Spurs up by 9. Gasol wanted to go at Alberto, and now scores and is fouled.
Well, Gasol gets you in that, what I call that mid-post area, where he's not deep in the post. He's off of it a little bit, Marvin. He can turn and face you, and he's very quick and deceptive with the tall, rangy body. He's got very long arms, and you have to honor his jump shot. He can make that little 10-foot jump shot, so now when you close on him, he has that one long stride that gets to the basket, and a very, very soft touch on that play.
Foul on Alberto. That is his second. Pau Gasol began playing basketball at the age of 9, growing up in Barcelona, Spain. In his early teens, says he had posters in his room of Michael Jordan, Penny Hardaway, and then he helped lead the Spanish national team to the junior world title at the age of 18. Originally a third overall pick in the draft by Atlanta. Back in 2001, traded to Memphis in a deal for Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Now went on to be Rookie of the Year, spent 6+ years with the Grizzlies before coming to the Lakers. Kurt Thomas has come on now for San Antonio. Parker off to the brilliant start, gives it to Thomas. Nice move by Thomas, but way off on that drive. Here comes Vujacic. Farmar.
And the crowd here is waiting for Farmar to have something good happen. He really struggled in that last series, and I think he needs a shot to go down early just to get his confidence.
Shot only 26% first 2 rounds, and then knocks down a 3.
That will be big for him. He really struggled in Utah. He let the fact that guys were going at him defensively bother him on the offensive end. You got to play through that. That's a big shot for the Lakers and for Jordan Farmar.
Farmar just 3 for 23 in the series against the Jazz. 8-second differential between the game clock and shot clock as this first quarter rolls down. Lakers now within 3. Parker to the crossover. Rebound Gasol. They have to hurry. Final seconds. Vujacic for 3. Kobe Bryant showing a lot of poise with the time running down, but set it up beautifully for Vujacic, and that rimmed out a 6-0 run by the Lakers to end this first quarter. After game one of the Western Conference Final, Spurs by 3. Craig with Rick Popovich when we come back. I think we're kind of watching a Michael Jordan flashback where he would make decisions as to when he will start to score. Kobe opening up by looking for teammates.
Well, I think that he knows he can get his shot anytime he wants to, and I think he knows how important it is. If you're going to beat the San Antonio Spurs, you've got to beat them as a team. They're not going to let one man beat them. I think he wanted for his team's confidence to get them off to good starts. When he comes back in next time, he will be looking for his shot.
Michael Finley has come on for the first time. Jacques Vaughn is in. Here's Udoka. Yes.
Well, great pickup from Portland. You know, he's sort of a bigger, stronger Bruce Bowen, and you'll see him on Kobe later on. More of a small forward, smaller power forward than a Bruce Bowen, but gives you that good, solid defense and makes open shots.
Luke Walton on the floor for the Lakers for the first time. That's a 3 for Vujacic.
He is so confident. He calls himself the machine, and actually played well against Utah. Game 5 was only 1 of 11 in that game, but kept shooting. His confidence was never questioned.
Ginobili able to. It goes to the running hook.
There's Phil with that European two-step, he calls it, the little extra half step. So Phil's already getting in Jimmy Clark's ear, letting him know that was a travel.
Gave the traveling indication clearly from the bench. That even brought him up off the bench. Walton with room. Turiaf, who just came on, able to get it back to Walton. Lakers in possession. They're down by 4. Second quarter just underway. Odom. Good job by Udoka.
Well, you saw the strength of Udoka there. Just kept him out of the lane. Would not let him pivot and forced him away to a weaker shot.
Ginobili's pass deflected out by Odom.
Lamar, when you look at this second unit of L.A., Lamar Odom is out there now with the 4 bench players. The bench in one game this year scored 73 points against Chicago. That's how strong this bench was, and Phil Jackson trusts them, and he will play them in critical times.
Oh, the steal by Vujacic. Took it away from Ginobili. Here's Farmar. And the foul.
That's what this second unit brings. They're more of a speed lineup, and these turnovers are going to create easy shots. Vujacic just rips the ball away from Ginobili. And how about Jordan Farmar now? This is a young guy. We talked about his struggles against Utah. Marv, we talked about him being 3 of 23, but he hits his first long-range jump shot, runs himself to a layup and a possible 3-point play. So very important here for Jordan Farmar and this young Laker bench in a very high-stakes game here tonight in L.A.
Foul committed by Ginobili. 3-point play for Farmar. When we were talking earlier with Phil Jackson, he said his biggest concern was that his team might lack an edge due to the time off, but we have not seen any signs of that in the first half. Ginobili kicks it back out. Udoka lost the dribble, but recovered. Hampton draws the double. Fires one up. Not a good shot. Here comes Walton. And tried to lead Farmar. It's deflected out. Last touch by the Spurs.
No, you don't gauge a Luke Walton by the stat sheet. He's a guy who's such an intangible guy, and he's so important to this second unit because he's such a great ball facilitator. He moves the ball and finds the open man.
We are early second quarter. Walton with the spin, rebounded by Ginobili. And Vaughn pushes it down. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. This is game one of the best of 7 Western Conference Final. Game 2 here Friday night at Staples. Duncan feeling for Turioff, then gets the step and lays it in.
Well, he respects Turioff because Turioff early in the year blocked a few of his shots, so you saw him use that head fake and get the little up and under move.
Turioff facing up and is fouled by Duncan.
Oh, that's a cheap foul by Tim Duncan. The last thing you want to do is reach in and foul Ronny Turioff shooting a 12 to 13 foot jump shot. You would hope he would take that shot. And here, this Tim Duncan move, that little drag through move that, Marv, we were talking before the game. You don't see that as much from Duncan, that little angled bank shot. But he used to entice you. You'll see Kobe do the same thing. They bring the ball down through you, hope you'll reach for it. And when you hit their arm, they drag it right through and go into the shot and get fouled.
The 2 shots for Turioff. Reminder, national coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. Game 2 of the Pistons and the Celtics starting 8 o'clock Eastern time. Friday on TNT. We'll be here for game 2 of the Western Conference Final between the Spurs and the Lakers starting at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then Saturday on ABC game 3 between the Celtics and the Pistons.
And that was a game the other night, game 1, Boston. I thought Boston had much more of an edge and an energy than Detroit did. I thought the layoff did affect him in game 1. Chauncey Billups was not sharp, neither was Rasheed Wallace, and we'll see how they bounce back in game 2.
Big game for Kevin Garnett. Another home victory for the Celtics. Ginobili with a wild attempt. Nice change of pace by Farmar, and then try to get it cross court, recovered by Walton. Vujacic is open for 3. Turioff got in front of Duncan.
That is the energy that this second unit has brought all season long. And Marv, what I've always said is when Kobe goes out, you can't let this bench come in and hurt you and do this. And they've totally energized their team.
The Spurs take a timeout. The Lakers have tied the game at 33. Ronny Turioff getting in front of Tim Duncan, and we're all even. Now look at Manu Ginobili, who has played so well through the regular season and the postseason. And kind of a unique player. 3 times during the regular season, he's either passed or dribbled the ball between an opponent's legs. Back in January, did it to Derek Fisher, leading to the field goal. Later that game is Manu again through the legs of Sasha Vujacic and through the foul. And then in early February, passing through the legs of Antoine Jamison, which led to this bucket by Fabrizio Alberto. And how about tonight, back in the first quarter, he puts it between the legs of Pau Gasol, and on the same possession, it led to this from downtown.
Well, he's so important to their team, Marv. You and I were speaking today at our production meeting, and I said, I think he's the lightning rod of this team. You talk about Parker and how well he plays, and Duncan, obviously, that quiet efficiency. But to me, when this guy is on his game, it just electrifies his team. And I've watched the last couple possessions. He looks like he's laboring a little bit. Had a couple finishes at the basket that he normally gets that he didn't get down. Struggled to get back on defense. Let's see if he gets his second wind here.
Well, he's able to penetrate, then pops it back out to Philly. Vujacic is on him. Now Ginobili guarded by Odom. Odom over to double on Duncan, and a foul.
See, Duncan's waiting for that double team. That's all he saw against New Orleans. Now, against Phoenix, he saw more single coverage. They singled him up with Shaquille O'Neal, a little Brian Skinner off the bench. They didn't see the double teams. As a result, the Suns took the three-point shooting of the Spurs out of that series. And then in the last series, the three-point shooting became so vital because of all the double teams. The Spurs actually outscored the Hornets over 15 points a game behind that three-point line. That's how important the three-point shooting was in that series.
Now committed by Turioff. Brent Barry has come on as Greg Popovich using a good portion of his bench here in the first half. Brent Barry not played much in the playoffs, missed nearly 9 weeks in the regular season after tearing a muscle in his left calf. That occurred in late January. Came back final 3 games of the season and played limited minutes. Here is Vujicic. Tony Parker is back. And he's picked up by Walton.
They've gone with a very small lineup right now. They really have 4 perimeter guys around Tim Duncan inside, so they look for that 3-point shooting if the Lakers start helping.
Duncan off the re-entry pass. And a foul is called. Loose ball foul. It's on the Spurs. It's on Duncan. That's his second.
That's 2 cheap fouls on Duncan. Remember the earlier one on Turioff. This one sort of a cheap foul as well. Now he committed the foul, but not the ones you want Tim Duncan to commit, where he has to go sit down. Remember the other night he picked up Marv his 4th foul at the 4:41 mark of that 3rd quarter, had to sit, and his team went on a little run without him. But tonight that second foul, still have 7:34 to go in this period.
Kobe Bryant checks back in. He's attempted only 1 shot. He has 4 assists. He has not been looking for his shot. And a bad pass. Odom looking for Bryant.
Well, you can expect Kobe to start looking for his shot right now. He feels good about this game right now. His teammates are playing well. Look for him going into halftime to take some shots. And with this Spurs team, Marvin, you can see what the Lakers are doing. They're really running at that 3-point line and forcing them to dribble the basketball and try to make 2s.
Duncan blocked by Turioff. Here's Duncan again. He comes right back.
Phil Jackson talked to us before the game about that. He said Turioff has blocked a few shots, but he's gotten them back and scored. And that's exactly what happened on that possession. Good second effort.
San Antonio up by 3. Here's Farmar to catch and shoot. Good job by Odom, but was not able to convert on the tip. Here's Parker setting it up for Bowen. Yes, a 3-pointer for Bruce Bowen, and Tony Parker has had a terrific first half. He has 8 points. He has 6 assists.
And look where he was, right in the middle of the lane. You're taught to help defensively, and that opens up that open jump shot for Bowen.
Foul is called on the Spurs. It's away from the ball, loose ball foul. It's on Udoka. Kurt Thomas now checks back in. A lot of shuffling here by Greg Popovich. He has already used 11 of his 12 players.
Well, he's coming off that 7-game series. You talked about the travels earlier, Marv, and how difficult. It's an older team, and you're playing with the lead. So why not get some guys in the game, see what they have tonight? You're maintaining the lead. So Pop right now is sort of playing with the house money a little bit from the standpoint of, I want to see what I have out here, and I still have the lead.
Here's Bowen, Thomas, and Udoka up front. Barry and Parker in the back. Gasol with a quick move, stepping around Thomas.
Very much a finesse player, and Kurt Thomas that time let him get his body on him, and he did. He just rolled right off. Used to watch Earl Monroe do that all the time. Feel that body and then roll off that body for the easy one.
39-35, San Antonio. Parker, tough angle shot.
That's the biggest improvement in his game. In 04, when they made him a jump shooter, they went from a 2-0 lead to Spurs. They lost 4 straight to the Lakers. From that point on, he said, I better be able to make that mid-range jump shot, and he's really improved that phase of his game.
Bryant and Parker runs it down. Tony Parker hit that huge jumper down the stretch in the final minute against the Hornets. Here's Barry for 3. Back tap by Thomas. San Antonio so effective with combinations of Thomas and Duncan and Alberto with the back tap to keep it alive to get second and third possessions. Parker looked like he changed his mind. He saw he was in 3-point territory. Parker gets to it and scores.
Now Phil Jackson's not going to be happy about that. 2 long rebounds, and Tony Parker came up with both of them and got the easy basket.
And a foul. Farmar hit by Parker, who was hustling to get back. A 10-2 run for the Spurs, and they lead by 8 with just under 5 left in this first half.
Now, Tony Parker's taking a weakness and making it a strength now. If you're going to go under all those screens, he's going to knock down those mid-range jump shots, and we know he can do this. A little twisting drive in the lane. Beautiful finish by Parker.
Well, the Spurs in the midst of a 10-2 run the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Coincidentally, that run began when Tony Parker re-entered the game. And San Antonio is up by 8. And Mrs. Tony Parker is here. Eva Longoria does much of her TV and film work here in L.A. David Beckham in the house, as is Andy Garcia, regular here at Laker games, along with Anthony Kiedis. Doug said it was Steve Nash of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Jack always on hand. I don't know if Steve will be pleased about that. Or...
You know, when Steve had his hair long, yes. And things. How about these numbers, though? When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, Lamar Odom off to a slow start, 1 of 6. How about the starting backcourt? Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher combined 0 of 6. Kobe only taking 2 shots here so far.
Jordan Farmar goes to the line. You talked earlier, Doug, about the difficulties he had in the Utah series. Overall in the playoffs, averaging just 3 points a game, shooting only 26%. And tonight off the bench for 7.
Well, I've always felt that your bench really feeds off the home crowd. They come in the game, and they're such an energy group of guys. And I've always said your bench can really help you at home, and normally your starters have to really be the guys on the road that carry you through the tough times. And Jordan Farmar really has bounced back well tonight.
San Antonio staying with Parker and Barry in the backcourt. Ginobili up front, along with Thomas and Bowen. So they stay with the smaller lineup. Here is Thomas. Yes.
That's his shot. You give him that little 15-footer, usually even on that baseline, he likes it better. But Kurt Thomas, what a great pickup for them, and fits well into this San Antonio scheme of things defensively, as well as making that little jump shot.
And Thomas the other night in Game 7 played only 7 minutes. Here's Bryant for Gasol. But 1 of 7 minutes, Thomas came up with 6 rebounds.
How many of those possessions he kept alive here as Odom in the lane? That one sequence when the Spurs went on that little run, he came up with about 5 or 6 loose balls that were really important to his team.
45-39, San Antonio. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. We're at Staples Center in Los Angeles. Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. And Parker lost it. It's off his foot.
Nice job that time by Pau Gasol. Showed up on that screen and forced Tony Parker to get a little bit out of control. And your big men are so important, Marv. I said, if you're going to be a good defensive team in this league, you better be able to defend screen roll. And your big guys are so important in being able to have the quickness to jump out there. And a nice job that time by Gasol.
And Doug, that's a rare turnover. Only the second committed by San Antonio. Lakers with just 3. Bowen is back on Bryant. Gasol's pass picked off, intercepted by Barry. Tim Duncan getting set to make his return. Fisher right up on Ginobili and is called for the foul. Going for the steal, but he made contact.
Well, how about going for the steal? 21 steals in a 6-game series the other night he had against the Utah Jazz. He had 6 in Game 1 and caused all kinds of problems for Carlos Boozer in that series, digging back in that post, and did not like the call, but Derek Fisher called. It'll be a sideline out of bounds, not yet in the penalty.
Only the second team foul committed by the Lakers. Lamar Odom with those long arms defending on the inbounds attempt. Here's Barry wide open.
You got to have shooters when you play on San Antonio. They have the dribble penetration of the guards, Parker and Ginobili. They have the post play of Duncan. So you've got to have shooters on the perimeter.
Fisher thought he was fouled as Ginobili knocked it away. Almost came up with a steal in that first attempt.
How about a difference, Marv? You look at the free throw attempts in this game tonight. Right now, 5 of 8 for the Lakers, they were shooting 38 free throws tonight against Utah. The Spurs don't foul, and that's going to be a big difference in this series, that free throw line.
Crowd, as you could hear, wanted a foul called on Ginobili. Vujicic rejected by Duncan. This group has played well. Spurs in front now, 47-39, just under 3 left in the first half. Shot clock to 5. Down to 2. Duncan had to force it. And Odom gets to it.
Trying to use that dribble to get his rhythm on that shot. Well, Kobe's got to start looking for some shots here soon.
Try to pass off the dribble, and it carried out of bounds. Last touch by the Lakers.
I think he's being a little bit too unselfish here, Marv. I saw Phil Jackson at times said, look, you got to take that shot. But Tim Duncan, the nice block, remember, he has 2 fouls here, and that's what Tim Duncan does well. He defends the basket.
We're the team that fouled the least in the entire season in the NBA, right? And we're hacking and hitting, and there's only one reason. They're in bonus already. This is one of our big deals coming into this game. We're a half a step behind on every one of their cuts. They're cutting better than we're doing early work on defense. We're behind, and now you're behind. You're pushing, you're hacking, you're hitting. That goes for everybody.
Doug, exactly what you referred to earlier, though. Greg Popovich upset because he feels that the Spurs last couple of minutes have fouled too frequently.
Well, just to follow up on that, Utah fouled more than anybody in the NBA. They fouled 24 times a game. Their opponent shot 30 free throws in the regular season. The Spurs pride themselves on keeping teams off that foul line. One of the big keys, and Kobe Bryant, we talked about him passing up shots. Only 2 field goal attempts in the first half. You see the last scoreless half he had in a playoff game against Minnesota. He did have 22 points in the second half of that game.
We are coming up on 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Udoka for 3. Rebounded by Bryant. Pops it out. Here's Odom ahead of the field. And he blew the layup. Bowen ran by him. Did not look to make contact. Did not want to pick up a foul, but obviously bothered Odom.
Confidence here in Tim Duncan having 2 fouls that he will not pick up his 3rd before the half.
Oh, beautiful shot as we see Duncan go to that bank. So Tim Duncan with 14 points in this first half. He's hit 6 of 12 from the field, along with 9 rebounds. Bryant got the step. That's his first field goal of the game.
I see Bruce Bowen said that's my fault. Popovich does not want him to crowd him. He said, I want you to make him make shots. Well, Bowen takes everything as a personal challenge. He's got to back off him and make him shoot the jump shots.
And Greg Popovich telling us that he tells Bruce, you're not going to shut him out. Duncan, beautiful move on the roll, able to hit over Gasol.
Well, Duncan had all those double teams against New Orleans. I think he's been freed up here tonight. He's in a great rhythm.
It is a 10-point San Antonio lead. The jump hook by Gasol, rebounded by Bowen. And this crowd getting a little anxious in this final minute of the first half.
Well, that's what the Spurs want to do in a game tonight at this kind of stakes, with the Lakers being favored here at home, to put them under the gun here early in the game.
Udoka passed on a 3. There's Ginobili off balance, rebounded by Gasol. Kobe Bryant with just 1 field goal. We saw that on the drive a moment ago. The 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Shot clock to 2. Vujicic just did beat the 24.
Well, very fortunate that time. Kobe made the extra pass, almost got him a shot clock violation.
Final seconds and the foul given by Fisher. They have the foul to give. Well, coming up, it's the T-Mobile halftime report. Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Reggie will have first half analysis and highlights. That is coming up momentarily. 22nd timeout taken by Greg Popovich with 2 9/10 seconds remaining in the half.
You know, I don't like that foul by Fisher there. He took it, and I know that they weren't in the penalty. I don't like Fisher getting that foul. That's his second of the game. And remember how fouls played such a big part of games 3 and 4 in Utah. He got in fouls, had to sit on the bench, and Darren Williams ran wild. So they can ill afford for Fisher to get in foul trouble against Tony Parker.
Well, we have a moment. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule presented by AFC. And game number 2 will take place here Friday night. Games 3 and 4. The scene switching to San Antonio Sunday night and Tuesday night. The entire Western Conference Final will be seen exclusively here on TNT. The Spurs coming off that grueling 7-game series win over the up-and-coming New Orleans Hornets. Lakers have had 4 days of rest after knocking off Utah in 6 following the sweep of Denver. And Kurt Thomas now will throw it in. He's looking for more room from Tonga South, who did step back. Here is Ginobili with the fake. He fires. And that's the end of the first half. Vujacic away from the ball was looking for a foul call as he was apparently tripped up. And his teammates just guiding him back to the bench. Well, Kobe Bryant with just the 1 field goal, 1 of 3 from the floor and 5 assists. Pau Gasol, the high man for the Lakers, with 11. Tim Duncan, a solid first half, 7 of 13 for the field, 16 points, 9 rebounds, and Tony Parker playing well, 6 of 10, 12 points, 5 assists. Tony is with Craig Sager, as they did against the Jazz in that second round series. Third quarter is underway, a third quarter where the Spurs have had all kinds of problems in the series against the Hornets. That is until game 7. Bowen opens up by drilling it.
Now make the extra pass. That's what the Spurs do. And I talked to Tony Parker at half, and I said, Tony, what did you talk about? And he said, our horrible third quarters in New Orleans on the road. And he said, even when we won the other night, we started out missing 9 of our first 11 shots.
They did outscore the Hornets in that game 7, 20-12, but look at these numbers. Spurs outscored 109-66 in the third quarter overall in the 4 games in New Orleans.
Yeah, the only thing that saved them was their defense, because the Hornets missed 12 of their first 14 shots the other night in the third quarter.
Odom not able to hit, could not finish. Oh, what a catch by Alberto on that bullet thrown by Ginobili. They're whipping the ball around. Here is Ginobili. Crowd wanted to travel.
He really cups that ball under his arm, almost like a running back, so you can't strip that ball loose. Here's Kobe. Looks like he's going to try to go to work here now and get his offensive game on track.
Bryant now 1 of 4 from the field. And Ginobili in a collision with Fisher. Foul on Fisher. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Marv, the stat that obviously stood out to us was 1 for 3 for Kobe from the field, but the coaching staff of the Lakers said we weren't that worried about how many field goal attempts he took. We just not think Kobe was as aggressive as he should be. They told him to be far more aggressive here in the second half at both ends of the court and to pick up the defense as well. Marv.
All right, Craig, here is Duncan, and goes less effectively. That's the Tim Duncan that we are accustomed to seeing, and have not seen that much. That bank shot from the angle during the playoffs. Biggest lead of the night for San Antonio. Gasol with the step, and he cannot finish. Was looking for a foul call. I mentioned the foul on Fisher a moment ago, his 3rd of the game, and you brought up the point when Fisher was the guy who gave the foul in the final seconds of the second quarter. You did not like that foul because it could put him in trouble down the road.
And now all of a sudden he picks up his 4th. Now who are you going to bring to guard Tony Parker? I mean, Jordan Farmar had a nice first half, but you want Derek Fisher on the floor against Parker.
Gasol coming over to help on Parker. Shot clock to 4. Alberto, yes, and the foul.
Well, the Lakers are being very aggressive on all the screen rolls, and the Spurs recognize this, and they're spreading them out. They're getting them caught in rotation. Now watch what happens. Gasol normally on Duncan, so the rotation Radmanovic comes up, and now you just find that little pinpoint pass underneath to Alberto. So one of the things about the San Antonio Spurs big men is they can pass the basketball. And if I'm the Lakers right now, my biggest concern is energy. And that's what Kobe talked to me about halftime. I said, what is the biggest key for you? He says, we have got to pick our energy level up. I have not seen that here in the first part of this third quarter.
Well, Phil Jackson said that was his main concern. It appeared that the energy was fine in the first half, at least earlier in the first half. But they don't have the edge that Phil was looking for.
And really the energy, Marv, was the bench more than the starters. They're the ones who brought this crowd to life.
Spurs have scored the first 6 points of this third quarter. Odom trying to pick up a charge. And a 3-second violation is called.
And you see the Lakers starting to look around right now. This is when Kobe has to really have a feel for what his team needs. They need a burst from him, whether it be scoring or whatever. They need some MVP minutes here real quickly.
Give and go. Bryant had it slapped away and a foul is called. Non-shooting foul. Second on Bowen. Lakers with their starting lineup. Gasol with Odom and Radmanovic. Bryant, Fisher at the guards. Kobe 1 of 5 from the field. Here's Fisher. He was looking to draw a foul call. Does not get the call, and the ball back to the Spurs.
Now this is where Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant, they're the two guys with the championships. They have the 3 championships together, the three-peat here. They've got to corral their team, get them together. I'm seeing some blank looks on the Lakers right now. They're looking around, wanting the referees to help them.
Duncan will not count. It's a traveling violation.
Mark, one of the things we talked about with the San Antonio Spurs too is this a team that will go through droughts. In that first half, they had none. Their biggest stretch going without scoring was only 1 minute and 50 seconds, so they stayed away from those in the first half. Another reason why they're leading.
Odom met by the double. And a steal by Ginobili. Parker played on a switch by Radmanovic. Duncan rebounded by Gasol. This crowd trying to get the Lakers going. Another steal. Sloppy start by the Lakers here in the third quarter, and a foul is called as Parker took a shot. It is on Radmanovic, his first.
You know, it's interesting when you think of the San Antonio Spurs defense, Marv, one of the things they don't do is they don't create turnovers and they don't get steals. And here is the replay we see of Parker going to the basket and getting fouled. But ironically, against the Lakers, they had a game this year in the regular season. They had 16 steals against the Lakers. And this is a team that's like in the bottom 20 in the NBA in steals. You see forced turnovers are 27th, and points off turnovers are 26th. But for some reason, the Lakers get careless when they play against this team. And right now, the Spurs have lulled them to sleep on the offensive end.
Ime Udoka coming on for Manu Ginobili. Lakers decide to take a timeout with 4 minutes gone by here in the third.
Pull your pants down if you have to so he'll see you. Jump up and down and scream. He's wide open for the 3-0. That's all right. You can't see the whole world all the time, TD. That's why I told him pull his pants down. Maybe you'll notice.
See, Marv, what jumps out to me more than anything about that is you have a great coach and a superstar who have such a level of trust with each other that he's continually coaching him. And he did it in such a way where he made his point and then he had the humor. But, you know, you can't see it all the time. And I think that's the beauty of Greg Popovich, is that little bit sarcastic wit that he has. And his team appreciates that. They want to be coached. And that's how you win championships. Phil Jackson does the same thing with his team. If you can't coach your superstars, you can't win in this league.
And Greg Popovich's San Antonio Spurs have scored the first 8 points of this third quarter. They've opened up a 16-point lead on the Lakers. Bryant. And the Lakers would like to see Kobe go on a tear. He has been very quiet, not looking for the shot early. He's now 2 of 6 from the field.
Marv, they're going to have to do it with their defense. Right now, their defense is getting no stops. And this is where they have to get it and get out on the run. The loose ball foul that time as Gasol got the rebound.
Foul is on Udoka. Try to slap it away from Gasol. So the Lakers in the third quarter just 1 of 6. They've turned it over twice. And Kobe thus far in the third just 1 of 3. But that was his first jump shot a moment ago. The previous field goal was a drive. Gasol is rejected by Duncan.
Well, you can see what Phil Jackson's done. He's gone to an energy lineup now. Kobe's now down at the small forward. He's gone with Farmar and Vujacic off the bench, trying to create some energy.
Michael Finley is back for the Spurs along with Ime Udoka. Duncan trying to put it between the legs of Gasol. Here comes Bryant. Bowen is back. Vujacic lost it. Parker leads a 3-on-2. Udoka, yes.
That's a very seldom seen run fast break. Normally, if you see the Spurs run a fast break, it's a one-man break either with Parker or Ginobili. How often do you see them come down and pull up and hit a 10-foot jump shot?
That was kind of a slow break.
Exactly right.
Casually done, but well executed. Bryant off the mark. Rebound, Parker. Puts moves on Farmar and draws the foul.
That's the fast break I'm talking. You normally see with the Spurs, that one-man break where Parker gets in the lane. But, you know, Marv, we look at this blueprint of playing Kobe Bryant, of making him a jump shooter, not getting to the line, and that's that one-man break by Tony Parker. That's why I said it's so important that Fisher stays in the game to be able to play against Parker. But Kobe Bryant tonight has taken 7 shots from the floor, 2 of 7. He's not taken a free throw. That's exactly what San Antonio wants.
Now, Bruce Bowen always does a good job on Kobe Bryant, although in this case it has been Bryant making the decision not to look for shots. But in the last 3 playoff series against the Spurs, Kobe has averaged 26, 32, and 26 points. In the 2003 conference semis, although Kobe averaged 32 points, Bowen held him to 43% from the field. And the Spurs beat the Lakers. Lakers continue to struggle here in the third. We're halfway through. It's an 18-point San Antonio lead.
And you know double teams are going to go right through to Duncan. He's going to read the defense, either get a little jump hook here in the lane, which he gets. They cannot handle him one-on-one. So Phil Jackson is going to have to make a decision here. He's going to go get the ball out of Parker's hands. And we're starting to hear a few boos here from this Laker fans here, down 20.
And Tim Duncan now has 20 points. Foul's called. It is on Bowen.
Tim Duncan just taking his time in the post, reading to see if there are double teams. And one of the things that big men have to really learn when they come in the NBA is handling double teams. Normally you see big guys, the Tim Duncans, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Elijah Wans, the Patrick Ewings, be high turnover guys when they come into the league initially because they're not used to the speed and quickness and size of double teams. And Marv, as they get better and they see them more often, they become much more adept at handling those things.
Bowen committing his 3rd foul, so he takes a seat. Ginobili is back. Bryant, yes. Kobe now being played by Udoka. The Spurs lead 65-47. Ginobili trying to get it back to Duncan. Here comes Vujacic. Bryant for Gasol.
And you're going to see Greg Popovich take a timeout. He's not going to let this team get on any kind of runs, and I think he's going to let Ginobili let him have it here. Trying to throw a pass that had no way he could get through there. And, you know, one of the things you have to do with Ginobili is sort of live and die with some of those plays, but not with an 18-point lead on the road in Game 1 of the conference finals.
And Mano got the Popovich stare as he headed back to the bench. All right, Doug, let's take a look at tonight's Yellow Book. Future faces, and after last night's NBA draft lottery, here's a talented tape on the probable top 2 picks.
Well, you know, depending obviously on the way John Paxson wants to go, do you want a young point guard who can push the tempo of the game and create all kinds of opportunities, or do you want an incredibly skilled big guy who can score in that low post, who can step out and shoot the ball? So that's one of those things where if you lose a coin flip, you say whoever I get, I'm okay with. You know, that's some pretty good choice there.
And whoever loses the coin flip will say he's the guy we wanted.
Exactly. That's the guy we hoped you would take, the other guy.
All right, go to TNT Overtime. All access on 8NBA.com for live coverage presented by Yellow Book.
The Spurs have gone back to that small lineup. You've seen a lot of small ball here tonight, and what's happened is the Lakers have matched that. So Finley actually playing as a power forward right now, matched up against Radmanovic.
Parker and Ginobili in the backcourt. Duncan, Finley, and Udoka up front. Just under 5 left in the third. Ginobili blocked from behind. Shot clock to 4. Duncan. And a foul is called on Udoka. So the ball back to the Lakers. They now have a backcourt of Farmar and Vujacic. Bryant is up front with Gasol and Radmanovic. Radmanovic got off to the quick start, has not attempted a shot in the third quarter. Bryant showing signs, hits the 3.
See, Kobe Bryant now sees Udoka on him, not Bruce Bowen. But let's see how long Popovich stays with that. If Kobe continues to make shots on Udoka, if he comes back with Bowen.
Gasol able to get down low, racing back off the switch to meet up with Duncan. Lakers now down by 13. Here's Bryant, got the step, and is fouled. That's number 4 on Udoka.
Well, Kobe understanding now. I talked about becoming the MVP in this stretch. He steps back and knocks a 3 down on Udoka. Here's the isolation. They don't want to help on Kobe, and the foul from Udoka. So this will be Kobe Bryant's first 2 free throws of the game. Starting to heat it up now with 9 points. And if I'm Greg Popovich, I'm starting to get a little nervous here. Still 4 minutes to go in this third period. And the Lakers on a little bit of a push here.
Well, this July, the #1 cable series of all time returns to TNT. Get a confession with Kira Sedgwick as the closer. Watch new episodes beginning this July on TNT. We know drama.
So Udoka is strong, but he doesn't have the quickness to play against Kobe Bryant. So what's happened now, he's gone out of the game. Brent Berry's come into the game, gives him another 3-point shooter, but more importantly, you're going to see Manu Ginobili now play against Kobe Bryant to try to slow him down.
Spurs have led by as many as 20. They've led all the way. Lakers now in the midst of a 9-0 run. All 9 points either scored or assisted on by Kobe. Parker for Duncan. Rebounded by Radmanovic. Duncan saying, where's the foul? Bryant, played by Ginobili, goes behind the back and shoots over Ginobili for 3. It's back tap to Vujacic.
But Kobe wants that ball down. He wants to go to work. You can see he's upset with Vujacic taking that shot, but it goes in.
Bryant was trying to post. Vujacic saw the opportunity, knocks down a 3. The lead is down to 8. 12 unanswered by the Lakers. Finley for 3. Bryant with the rebound.
One of those San Antonio droughts that I talked about, Marv.
And the Lakers taking advantage. Here is Bryant. Rebound Duncan, and Bryant felt he was fouled. And now away from the ball, Dan Crawford is calling a foul on the Lakers. Foul on Gasol.
Kobe taking the ball to the basket strong. You see sort of a one-man zone there by Duncan. Kobe thought he was foul, and Gasol falls into Duncan and Ginobili. It looked like Ginobili pushed Gasol into Tim Duncan, but Gasol was the one to get caught with a foul.
Both teams are over the foul limit, so Duncan to the line. He's at 2 of 3, coming off a 6 for 6 at the line in Game 7 against the Hornets.
And this one you have to step up and make your free throws. When that other team is making a run, you've got to step up and knock them down. Otherwise, the momentum continues to work against you.
During the regular season, Duncan 73%, much improved from previous years. Dropped back down despite the 6 for 6 the other night, down to 65 during the playoffs, and misses both.
I've never seen a good free throw shooter pause that long and hold the ball. You like break your rhythm instead of taking that bounce and going right into your shot. Gives you an awful lot to think about.
Spurs have not scored in nearly 3.5 minutes. Bryant for the lob, and Gasol able to get to it. What a play by Paul Gasol, able to twist his way to make contact with the alley-oop.
And they've done it with their defense. Marv, we talked about it. This is a team, the Lakers, when they start scoring, it energizes them on the defensive end. And when Phil Jackson went to Farmar and Vujacic and slid Kobe down to the small forward position, the whole fabric of this team has changed.
A 14-0 run by the Lakers. And this after the good start to this third quarter by the Spurs. And this a Laker team that has done the job at home in the playoffs, 6-0 here in LA. They have not lost a game at Staples since back on March the 28th. And overall, going back to the regular season, Lakers have won 16 of their last 19 at home.
Would it be amazing, as badly as the Lakers were playing, Mark, you said they were down 20? They were down 20 points? That they would be leading at the end of the third quarter? I mean, there's 2:20 to go. I mean, they could actually be leading this game after being down by 20 midway through the third period. What an incredible turnaround here. The Spurs are bleeding for a basket. It's an offensive foul here on Ginobili.
Ginobili and Vujacic coming together. Ginobili throwing an elbow and is called for the foul, so the ball back to the Lakers.
You know, Ginobili's struggling tonight, Marv. I thought he looked like he was a little bit tired, and he's playing like that tonight. Remember, this is a guy who averaged 31 minutes a game during the regular season. He played 42 minutes the other night. Got called with a foul there.
Radmanovic trying to find Gasol with the lob.
I think Vlade needs to leave those passes to Kobe.
Ginobili for 3.
Yes. Wow, big shot. And that was a bad pass that Michael Finley threw in. You saw Michael Finley say, my fault. Very seldom do you ever see a guy get a pass around his ankles, be able to pull that shot up and knock it in.
Spurs with a 68-59 lead. Bryant for Gasol.
Running that little two-man action, and what's happened is Duncan is stepping up to play Kobe, which leaves a guard on Gasol, and he's just tossing the ball at the basket. We've seen about 3 of those plays in this quarter.
Lakers stay with single coverage on Duncan, who's able to bank it home over Gasol.
You know, he heard you and I talking before the game. You said you hadn't seen that much all year. We've seen it twice tonight.
That has been such an effective shot for Tim Duncan over the years. Bryant behind the back, pulls it back. Oh, what a move. Going right at Ginobili.
Guard that. Oh, my.
Spurs up by 7. Bryant with 13 points, 11 of the 13 here in the third. Final minute of the quarter. Parker, oh, beautiful fake. Tony Parker driving into the paint with the ball fake. He now has 18, and the Spurs have a 9-point lead. Bryant for Gasol, and he scores.
Boy, those guys have fit together so well. Gasol knows exactly where to be, and Kobe Bryant right now is playing like that MVP. He's either getting his shot or an easy shot for one of his teammates.
Gasol with 19 points. And they complemented each other extremely well right from the start. Gasol fitting into the triangle defense, offense, I should say, of the Lakers. Final seconds of the third. Here's Farmar from center court. The Lakers in the third quarter outscoring the Spurs 20-7. They were down by as many as 20. Kobe Bryant, 11 of his 13 in the third. Fellow attempting some basketball stand-up.
Well, it's interesting, Marv. Normally, Kobe Bryant would rest for the first 4 minutes of this period. Kobe Bryant is on the floor. So Phil Jackson knows he cannot take Kobe out of the game now with his team down 7. And Kobe really has managed his minutes early. I don't see fatigue being a factor.
Fourth quarter underway. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager from Staples in Los Angeles. Bowen is back in, stepped away from Bryant, who calls for time to save the possession. Took a 20-second timeout. Well, they knew he was in trouble on the floor with the ball, so 17 seconds in, it's a Laker timeout. We'll be right back.
There's so many emotions at the end of the season, and nobody likes to talk about it. But one of them is fear. Fear that you could come this far and it could all end. The dream could die. But me, I like the fear. It means I'm close. It means I'm ready.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs hanging on to a 7-point lead. Kobe Bryant, a little one-on-one move here with Bruce Bowen. And what he's going to try to do, he's going to try to feel him with his body. And Bowen recognizes that and watches he just steps back so Kobe cannot feel him and then spin off of him like he likes to do. And Kobe looked over the river. He said he sort of pulled me backwards. But interesting lineup here now with Fisher on the floor. Normally that would be Farmar. So you see Phil going back to some starters here.
Here's Bryant for 3, way off. A 14-0 spurt during the third quarter, turning this game around for the Lakers. They finished the quarter with a 20-7 run. So down by as many as 20, it's now a 7-point game. Bryant behind the back. Kuryaev did not expect it. Recovered by Vujacic. Walton just checked back in. Finding Kuryaev. Rebounded by Duncan. Oh, the steal by Bryant. And he scored.
Well, remember that play right there, Marv. A chance for the Spurs maybe to go up 9. Kobe with a steal pushed it down to 5. Those are momentum kind of plays.
Bryant in the first half, only 2 points, 5 assists. He now has 13 points in the second half with 4 assists. And the Spurs continue to have their problems. Looked like Vujacic went down and he's hurt. And now back on his feet. He was shaken up.
He's holding that right shoulder.
Fisher. And back comes Barry, hounded by Vujacic. Parker and Barry in the backcourt. Parker. Walton called for the foul on Duncan.
That's a good foul, though. Remember, Tim Duncan has just walked up and missed a couple. You do not want to give him a layup at this point in time as you're trying to continue to climb and play in from behind. But Marv, we're seeing one of those classic San Antonio Spurs situations now where they go through long periods of time where they struggle to score. If the Lakers will stay patient, they're going to be okay in this game. What they can't start doing is taking quick shots.
Duncan is 2 of 5. At the line, he's missed his last 3. National coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. Game 2 between the Pistons and the Celtics. Friday, right here on TNT, we'll have Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Coverage starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And then Saturday on ABC, Game 3 of the Celtics and the Pistons. So Duncan, after missing 3 in a row, hits 2 of 2, and the Spurs now lead 74-67. Bryant getting the pick from Turiaf. Trying to get it back to him and broken up. Last touch by Bowen.
You see again defensively what San Antonio is doing is they're forcing Kobe into Duncan. And when Gasol is in the game, he can just lob it up to him for the score. He did not do that time with Turiaf.
Here's Bryant. Kobe now 7 of 15. He has 17 points.
He's Jock Bond in the game right now. Derek Fisher can really gamble.
Ginobili for 3. Rebounded by Bryant. And Vaughn has come on to provide a rest for Parker. Turiaf. And the Spurs do not mind seeing Rodi Turiaf take those mid-range jump shots.
You were reading my coaching mind on that.
Here's the double.
So they're doubling now in the 4th period, trying to get it out of his hands. What a tough shot.
Oh, that'll count. And the foul. 26 points for Duncan.
Well, the patience of Tim Duncan. He got the double team, then he kicked it out and reposted and shoots a little floater over Turiaf. And what you've seen with Phil Jackson here is a lot what he used to do with Chicago. Not double team early in the game and then come 4th quarter, go hard at their post player. And we've seen that. Duncan, great patience though, passing out of the double team and then reposting.
But Duncan not able to complete the 3-point play. The Spurs now lead 76-69. 3 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. Fisher played by Vaughn. There is Fisher. That's his first field goal. He had missed his previous 6 shots.
Well, Jacques Bond is in the game to try to get up the floor and pressure Fisher to try to get them out of the rhythm of their offense.
Duncan. He was hacked by Turiaf.
That's a little reach in we talked about. Duncan did that to Turiaf, remember, in the first half. This time Turiaf reaches in.
3rd team foul committed by the Lakers. There's Derek Fisher getting on the score sheet. Little flip shot. We'll be back to Staples in a moment. Well, we're early 4th quarter as we welcome you back. Staples in Los Angeles. San Antonio is led by as many as 20. And now clinging to this 5-point lead. Another check around this personality-packed crowd. Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. Actor, comedian Brad Garrett. There is Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pat Sajak. And Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Now, Marv, if my little grandson Ryan were up in North Carolina, it's a little bit late right now, he would say, Marv, that's not Tobey Maguire, that's Peter Parker. That's Peter Parker to him. That's not Tobey Maguire.
Are you saying he's not staying up for the game?
I think it's past his bedtime, 11:20 on the East Coast.
It might affect the ratings. Well, Tim Duncan back to the line. He is 4 of 8. He has 26 points. And getting the treatment from the crowd. Duncan, the only Spur to score here in the 4th quarter. They went through that drought in the 3rd. The Lakers getting back into it. They finished up the 3rd quarter with that 20-7 run. And this time Duncan hits both.
Well, you talked about Kobe, how brilliant he's been here in the 2nd half. Mark, 23 of the Lakers, 28 points in this half. He's had his hand in. Has 15 points and 4 assists. All of his assists to Gasol for easy source. So Kobe has taken over this game offensively for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Now Tony Parker, Fabricio Oberto back on the floor. Duncan and Vaughn will sit down.
But you see what Popovich is doing when he takes out Duncan. He comes back with Parker, knowing he has to have offense on the floor.
Bryant able to squeeze by Bowen. Kobe with 19 points, 17 of the 19 in the second half.
This has got to be Parker and Ginobili. With this group on the floor, Ginobili has got to come to life.
Ginobili getting the step, kicks it out. Parker over Gasol. Knocked away from Alberto. Good play by Odom. Bryant going at Bowen. 21 for Bryant. The Lakers are with it 3.
How good is Kobe Bryant? I mean, to be able to first half just sort of go through the game and turn the switch like this, what an amazing second half.
Parker's pass deflected. Bowen, yes, that's a 3 for Bruce Bowen.
You can put a piece of tape over there in that corner. He loves those cornered threes.
Lamar Odom has been quiet at the offensive end. Bryant off the spin. Parker. Finley for 3. And back comes Fisher. A 6-point San Antonio lead. Odom had the step, and then is fouled. He was hit by Finley.
This is the guy they need to get going. He was such a vital part of that win in Utah, and they need to get him playing well. He's really struggled. I think he's one of the guys who's lost a little bit of his edge. Lamar Odom during that little 4-day layoff, but this guy has played so well for them, especially since he slid down to that number 3 scorer behind Gasol and Kobe Bryant.
In the postseason, Odom averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, numbers slightly up from his season average. Major League Baseball action returns to TBS this Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Ichiro and the Seattle Mariners taking on Derek Jeter and the Yankees. Jeter back in the lineup after being hit by a pitch last night, suffering that bruised hand. Yankees continue to struggle. They have lost 4 in a row. Chip Carey, Run Darling will have it for you. That's Sunday on TBS, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Just under 7 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. Game 1 of the best of 7 Western Conference Final. Game 2 here Friday night here in Los Angeles. And we'll have it for you. We'll have the entire series exclusively on TNT. Udoka with the step. Back comes Odom off the turnover. Fisher. He has not been able to hit the outside shot.
Yeah, you can see he just does not have that touch that he had in Utah. He was 16 of 27 from the line. From that 3-point line in that series. He's been brilliant.
Only 1 of 8 tonight. Here's the double on Duncan. Parker is open for 3. Duncan corrals the rebound.
See, Bowen does not like to shoot threes up there. He likes to get down to that corner. That was a wide open shot that he passed on. He just does not like that spot.
Udoka. And a foul, loose ball foul on Duncan. Trying to knock the ball away from Gasol.
I thought Tim Duncan had a wide open jump shot from the foul line. He passed on it to throw it back to Udoka. I thought Duncan had a much better shot than what Udoka did. Look at Duncan here. And he had a look at it, and he passes up to Udoka, who takes a contested shot.
Welcome back to the Staples Center, where the Spurs have led from start to this point in the 4th quarter, but a 20-point cushion is down to just 4. The Los Angeles Lakers do care about their community, and recently the entire team showed their support when they traded in their basketballs for golf clubs and competed in the Lakers charitable golf tournament. The players spent the afternoon raising money for the Lakers Youth Foundation, which supports local nonprofit youth organizations. And in case you're wondering, Wondering, the Lakers charitable golf tournament was won by backup center Chris Smith. The NBA, where caring happens. Mark.
And Kobe Bryant, now 9 of 18 from the field, 21 points. 19 of his 21 have come here in the second half, with the Lakers coming back from that 20-point deficit. Good job by Bowen. Bryant forces the shot, and it's played by Parker.
That was exactly what Bruce Bowen wanted to do on that play. Shoot that tough fadeaway jump shot that's going to be a foul on Derek Fisher, his fourth. But the patience, Marv, that you have to have, all these fakes that Kobe gets you, he does a wonderful job. That getting you up in the air, getting the foul. Bowen that time didn't bite on any of them and forced a very difficult shot.
Just under 5.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Ginobili, played by Vujacic. Duncan right back. Parker. Shot clock to 4. Here's Parker. And the ball back to the Lakers.
Now Tony Parker very upset because the Spurs did a nice job of moving the basketball. He fumbled the pass, was taken off the shot, and then had to take a difficult one. But Marv, you talked about the efficiency in the first half of San Antonio. 12 assists, 2 turnovers. In this half, 4 assists and 7 turnovers. The Lakers have turned it up defensively.
Bryant using the pick, try to get it to Gasol on a pick and roll, and a foul is called. Foul on Bowen. That's 4 on Bowen. 13 foul on the Spurs.
The last thing, if you're San Antonio, you don't want to get in the penalty with these fouls. It makes it impossible to try to guard Kobe Bryant when you have no fouls to give.
Once again, Gasol set the pick. Vujacic for 3. Good box out by Duncan. Ginobili trying to shake off Vujacic. Intercepted by Fisher. Here comes Fisher. He is fouled by Parker.
Now, Manu Ginobili's had a real tough game tonight, Marv. He's made some critical turnovers. He's struggling from the floor, 3 of 11. We've seen 2 or 3 plays where he's driven and thrown the ball across court. There's no place to go with this pass at all, and Fisher picks it off. And all those plays lead to either layups or free throws.
So Derek Fisher to the line for the first time. NASCAR on TNT returns Sunday, June 8th with Sprint Cup Racing live from Pocono. Join us for NASCAR live on TNT.
So Udoka leaving now, Finley coming in. I think that Greg Popovich is hoping that Finley can knock down a long jump shot. He had 2 big ones in that series you and Reggie did the other night in Game 7. He'd gone 3 games without making a 3 and knocked down 2 big ones in that third quarter.
He had gone 1 for 6 back-to-back prior to Game 7. It is down to a 2-point lead, the closest this game has been since midway through the second quarter. As we come up on 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Ginobili rejected by Gasol.
They've done a great job tonight of keeping Ginobili out of the paint. All of his shots contested. A big guy coming over, either altering it or blocking it. You actually had Gasol and Odom on that play.
Duncan tried to go glass. Gasol was picked off and thought he was fouled. Here comes Odom. Odom to the rim. And it's picked up by Finley. Finley looking for help. They try to trap him. San Antonio leading by just 2. Duncan. Played well by Gasol. And the ball back to the Spurs as Odom lost his balance.
You can see that time as they turned Duncan into the lane. Odom came over to help on the double team, so they're not giving Duncan those free pass to the basket. Tony Parker has been quiet in this second half. So if you wonder why the Lakers coming back, Parker and Duncan now struggling to score after huge first halves.
Finley with space fires for three. Rebounded by Vujacic. Lakers down by 2. With just under 3.5 left in the fourth. Odom backs his way in and scores. The game is tied at 81.
You cannot play Lamar Odom with Michael Finley. He's too small. The Lakers recognize that. Odom finally gets one to go. He's now 3 of 11 on the night.
Standing ovation here at Staples for the Lakers. A 10-3-1 by the Lakers. Our Doug, time for the U.S. Army's strong performance of the night.
Well, it's been Tim Duncan here who has been terrific in this ball game. We've seen him step out on the floor and make jump shots. That little patent shot off the glass, the beautiful pass to Alberto. The defensive rebound and the outlet pass, the quick post up, the three-point play opportunity against Turioff. And he really's been the guy in this second half. The trios that we talked about that were so good in the first half, it was Duncan and Parker. In the second half, 6 for Parker, 3 for Ginobili, 12 for Duncan. And look how Kobe and Gasol especially have come to life. It's 20-point turnaround since the 5:50 mark of the third period.
First time they're tied since it was 33 apiece. Back in the second quarter, Parker draws the double. Here comes Bryant. Lakers with a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight. Bryant, and a foul is called. That is number 5 on Bowen.
Well, the Lakers have the chance to take the lead, Mark, but I'm going to take you back. 65-45, San Antonio winning. Since that point in time, 5 of 23 from the floor with 7 turnovers. Remember I talked about them going through stretches where they can't score?
Well, we have seen the drought kick in tonight for San Antonio. The Lakers with the lead for the first time. They continue to chant for the NBA's most valuable player. Got off to the slow start, only 2 points at the half. Now 23 for the game. 21 of his 23 in the second half. The Lakers have come back from a 20-point deficit. We're down to 2.5 to play in the fourth. Udoka for 3, way off.
Where the Lakers are contesting everything right now. Their defense has totally turned this ball game around.
Bryant, yes.
This guy's unbelievable. Unreal second half what this guy's done for his team.
85-81, Lakers. Udoka. 2 shots way off by Udoka. And that cost the Spurs. Bryant behind the back. Vujacic gives it right back. Kobe directing traffic. Gasol with the mismatch. Now Duncan back over. Fisher with a step back. And the ball back to San Antonio.
This is where the Spurs really miss Manu Ginobili. With him not playing well tonight, normally they put the ball in his hands and let him create an opportunity. He's 3 of 12 tonight to struggle with turnovers. And you see the Spurs the last 16-plus minutes. Now 5 of 25, 7 turnovers. They've been outscored 40-16. Can Ginobili find a field goal?
Ginobili blocked by Fisher. And that puts the Lakers over the limit. So Derek Fisher picks up his 5th. And Manu Ginobili at the line for the first time tonight.
Well, you know, just the energy has so picked up for the Lakers. And I think that Phil made a real strategic move early in that third quarter when he went to Vujacic and Farmar, he put him out there with Kobe. And then what ended up happening is Kobe normally rests at the end of the third period. Phil has to let him play the entire game. A strategic move, but still, with all that said, it's a one-possession game here. The Lakers, if they don't score and the Spurs get a three, they're right back in the lead. So a lot of time and a lot of things can happen.
Tough pass for Gasol to handle, but came up with it. Bryant makes the turn, gives it back to Odom. And Duncan able to reach for it. Ball's knocked out of his hands and deflected out of bounds. Danny Crawford will confer. At first he said last touch by Duncan. And now Dan Crawford talks it over with Bob Delaney.
I think that ball was knocked out by one of the Lakers. Either that or Duncan got fouled. I don't know. Let's watch here on this play, Marv. Duncan goes up. Looks like Gasol knocked that ball loose from behind. I don't know if it went off Duncan after he hit it, but it looked like Gasol hit that ball.
And Greg Popovich wants to pull Tim Duncan aside. Does not want Tim to pick up a technical, but it will be Laker ball, and a 20-second timeout has been taken.
I think Greg Popovich said he got fouled on the play. So break here for the Los Angeles Lakers. See if they can take advantage.
We're down to 1:04 left in this fourth quarter. Lakers up by 2, and they have the ball. Let's revisit tonight's Collins Keys, presented by Heineken. You ran this down right at the start of the telecast.
Well, we talked about the tempo. It's in a great tempo for San Antonio until he went with that dry spell here in the second half. The Kobe blueprint, terrific for the first half, and then he's taken over in the second half here. Keep the Spurs guards out of the lane. Parker and Ginobili only 10 points in the paint. We talked about the bench advantage tonight. It's been the Lakers +8. Can they hold on? What a dramatic win this would be for the Lakers, Marv. It looked like they were dead in the water at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. This would be a huge win for them.
In particular, in that San Antonio has the score and the tempo basically where they wanted it.
Exactly. You feel like if the game was under 100, this would be a Spurs win. Now, still, they can pull this game out a lot of time.
Through the timeouts remaining, San Antonio with 2 left. Gasol off the fake. Try to stuff it. A lot of contact, but no foul. And the Lakers upset that Ginobili was not called for the foul on a push.
This is where, if you're the Lakers, you don't want to give up a 3. Here is Duncan. Gasol misses the driving left-hand layup. The ball knocked out of bounds. Those are tough. Those are those 50-50 plays. But if you're the Lakers, Marv, you don't want to give up a 3. A tie, 2 ties you, but you don't want to help and give up a 3.
Just under a minute left in the fourth. The Lakers 85, the Spurs 83. Duncan comes out to set the high screen. Duncan, the tip by Duncan. What a follow by Tim Duncan, and the game is tied at 85.
Well, if I'm the Spurs, at all costs, I get this ball out of Kobe Bryant's hands. Make somebody else beat me on this play.
30 points, 18 rebounds for Duncan.
They're going to trap this pick and roll here tomorrow and try to make him give the ball up.
Bryant freeing himself up. Lakers take a 2-point lead.
See, he strung out the double team and then took the ball right where he wanted it. That's just a brilliant play.
No timeout now. The timeout is called as Parker brought to the front court with 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Lakers up by 2.
Well, Tim Duncan takes this shot. I think that Gasol got a little piece of it, and then the follow-up, and Greg Popovich said we're going to trap it and get it out of his hands, and Kobe said, I'm not giving it up. I'm taking a little jumper to give us a lead.
All right, Doug, 20 seconds remaining. Lakers up by 2 if you're Greg Popovich. And if you have what appears to be a tired team playing on the road, You go for the tie, you go for the win. You look for a three.
Well, you know what I do is I try to get one of those guards driving to the basket and hope a Laker makes a mistake, and you kick out and you get a good three, because Robert Horry's coming in the game right now, and you know that they better not leave this guy. Although he has really not played hardly at all tonight, not taking a shot, this is a guy who loves these kind of moments.
As the Lakers and their fans are well aware, because he also did it for the Lakers. Horry will inbound. San Antonio down by 2. Ginobili for 3. Battle for the rebound. Vujacic is on it. And a foul with 7 3/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Well, you see him go for the three to try to take the lead here. Ginobili spots up, gets a good look at it, but he's been off all night long. Robert Horry tries to pull out the loose ball. 3 bodies on the floor, loose ball foul, and Vujacic with a chance here to give the Lakers, what would it be, their biggest lead of the night at 4 points?
Yes. Finley on the foul. Vujacic to the line for the first time tonight. 84% free throw shooter during the regular season. That's the big one. The Lakers up by 3. Spurs do have a 20-second timeout remaining. Both teams over the foul limit. Pau Gasol providing a service, stretching out the netting. So Sasha Vujacic calmly knocks down the 2 free throws.
Marv, I said in the third quarter when it was a 20-point game, if the Lakers were going to do it, they had to do it on the defensive end. They had to start getting some stops. And their defense picked up, and again, I give Phil Jackson a lot of credit. He went to the young guys with energy, to Farmar and to Vujacic. He moved Kobe down at the small forward position, and that team made a run that got him back in the game and put him in a position to win this game here tonight.
Down to 7 3/10 seconds remaining. The Lakers now have a 4-point lead. Well, the NBA on TNT continues. Coming up next, the award-winning Inside the NBA will have live post-game reaction and analysis. Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Reggie will have it for you. Then on Friday, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and Lakers, covered starting 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Udoka will inbound. They need a quick bucket here. Ginobili for Finley. Shoots for 3. And that will do it. As Odom fires it down court, the Los Angeles Lakers have come back from a 20-point deficit led by Kobe Bryant in the second half. And they've defeated the San Antonio Spurs here in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, 89-85.
Remember we talked to Phil before the game. He said, I wonder if we're going to be tenacious enough to do what we have to do and win. Well, you know what, Marv? The question was answered. They were very tenacious tonight. And what a brilliant second half by Kobe Bryant.
Bryant finishes with 27, 25 of the 27 coming in the second half. The stat sheet also shows 9 assists and 5 rebounds. Bryant lifting this team and leading the Lakers to the victory. Let's go to Craig Sager with Kobe Bryant.